global happenings today. We communicate, we analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our channel. Right now there's a lot going on brewing in APC, just like Wike East in PDP. Being in PDP causing a lot of mayhem within PDP in the ranks and file of the national level of PDP. Elrufai, Nasir Elrufai have decided to become a bone in the neck to the presidency, especially to the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and literally the presidential aides are begging and literally asking him to come home. We're going to find out the replies and expose Nasir Elrufai, the former governor of Kaduna State, is giving, and literally as well they're dragging themselves, bringing in a senator. It's a big one. Everybody's in the ring for the show of the life of Nigeria, but Nigerian politics. Before we go to the newspaper, kindly subscribe to our channel. Let's start with what Daniel Bwala, one of the social media aide to the president. According to Daniel Bwala, he wrote to Kaduna State, former Kaduna State governor. He said, "My senior brother, if you were to be in the government and cabinet, would you have held and expressed the same position? History is replete with examples. It is a government you participated in its formation. Would you be willing to unseat it?" And this is the response that Nasir Elrufai gave to Bwala, and dragging a senator inside. Water. This is the wicked style in APC. He said, "Good morning at Bwala, Daniel. I was cabinet minister 22 years ago, and I was clear to Asiwaju that I was not interested in any position in his future government. The pathetic manner all of you latter-day converts to the Tinubu government make an issue of something that I never wanted in the first place is perhaps a reflection of the level of your moral flexibility. If I had remained in the Tinubu government, I would say or do the same on the tragedy within a party I founded, or I was a founder, and the government that emerged from it, first in private sessions with those concerned, and then go public if no remedial actions are taken. Go and check my public service record from 1998. I'm only responding to you because I still think you're a decent person who may need a job, and not in the class of Wendell Simlin and that Kaduna pretender that our voters retired in 2019. I wonder who this Kaduna pretender is. My colleague is in the house, but let's continue. And these clowns are political mercenaries that receive homogeneous monthly stipends from the security vote to be the first to jump on social media and other platforms to defend everything the Asiwaju government does or fails to do, no matter how indefensible it may be. Enjoy your special advisor position, my brother, but remember that allegiance to God and country comes first in human scale of accountability before any person or authority." Of course, Daniel Bwala did not let it slide. He responded, and you're going to find out also what the pretender he's referring to also said to him in response. He said, now Daniel Bwala talking, said, "Still my senior brother at Elrufai, I am sure you don't need anyone to tell you about my respect and admiration for you, not just for your brilliance, but also as one of the brightest we have from the northern extraction. I am not stating it for the first time today, and you know that. My worry, however, is the motive behind your statement and actions. They are not born out of patriotism, but need for vengeance. The opposition see that singular element of vengeance as a veritable tool for your recruitment. With respect, I am not a latter-day Asiwaju supporter. We both played our roles in his emergence as candidate of the party ahead of 2023 elections. And before then, whilst you were from CPC extraction of APC, I was from the ACN, which explains why I worked with Comrade Oshomole when he chaired the party, amongst other things, to protect the interests of Asiwaju, whom at that time you people vowed to retire from politics. I still think you don't need all these melodramatic activities or a vengeance mission. Come back and resolve whatever you think is your grievances like a dignified man that you are. Our party APC, as of today, remains the only organized party remains the only organized party and with identifiable structures across the country. So if you are looking for any symbol of democracy, it's still in your party. Please, senior, come home. You have toiled all night. Oh boy, nobody toiled all night. This is not only normal, no, it's not only small toiling. Okay, but let's find out. Who do you think, very quickly, do you think is calling the pretender that the Kaduna State voters retired in 2019?
I think is this former senator, Shehu Sani, because Shehu Sani had at one time or the other been lambasting him also. Don't forget that when he was in power, him and Shehu Sani, they didn't see eye to eye. And Shehu Sani also had thrown some tantrums at him. And one of it was recently when he said something like, talking about Elrufai, said, when in power in Kaduna, he practiced tyranny and unleashed evil out of power. He is sanctimoniously preaching democracy to the country. He helped to rape, plunder, and persecuted. He demonized the opposition when in the palace and now embracing them when in the wilderness. He is like a man who is turned down by a woman and resorted to speaking ill of her. Tinubu was his angel until when he was evicted from the house, now telling the world he is a demon. The government is led by illiterate because they refuse to hire Professor Miget. If he is in a keke napep, he will call it a Lamborghini. If he is thrown out of the Lamborghini, he will call it a keke napep. The man with a history of undisguised intolerance to opposition and a hypersensitive allergy to criticism have no moral and saintly fit to stand on the pulpit of democracy to preach about good governance. He left a heap of garbage in Kaduna, now preaching hygiene to the country, has not forgotten the history of his dead. That's datiness. He said the man who looted Kaduna State, pile up debts for our people, use religion to divide the people of the state, enrich and shed lands to friends and family members, disobey court orders, persecuted journalists, arrest people for criticizing him on social media, monetize banditry, is now telling others how to govern. If this man was admitted into Tinubu's government, no critic of the government in the north or south would have been spared from his toxicity. He thought he would have a puppet governor in Kaduna State. Now it's the opposite, and he is frustrated. He is now jobless, most times seeking to be invited to northern public events where he will whip up sectional sentiment. Those were the words that came out of the mouth of Shehu Sani. And I must say that though Elrufai says he was kicked out of governance or kicked out of politics in 2019, I think his word still holds sway because a lot of people follow him and they listen to him. And I would say, this is strictly me, I would say that I can't counter anything that Shehu Sani said here. I cannot counter it. Because I can still remember when Elrufai was in power. Oh God, Kaduna was hot for anyone that criticizes him. He goes after you with everything he's got. So just like what he said, when you are in Lamborghini, you talk down on keke napep. But when you are in keke napep, you talk down on Lamborghini. It makes no sense, We know that his darling was APC. But now, unfortunately, he is no more in the center of it. And I feel that's why he is reacting the way he's reacting. Come on, I think that just like this guy said, so that we don't keep on x-raying your character, come back home. And you have toiled all night, like Jesus would say to the disciples, But however, as much as intelligent as, because we'll give it to him, he's a very intelligent speaker. But I was disappointed when he took over Kaduna. I was grossly disappointed. the history that follow his leadership in Kaduna.
You know, when you say come back home, like Bola said, come back home with what? To come and take what? Empty, no ministerial position. Although he did mention that
he's telling him he had toiled. He had toiled. Brother, come back home. We know you have toiled all night. In other words, nothing for you. You didn't catch any fish. So come home. Let's see how we can talk to Asiwaju Bola Tinubu so that they can put at least
something for you.
2 fishes in your plate and maybe with 5 loaves so that you can make a fortune out of. But I know he's not broke. You know,
most definitely
he's not broke. So the only thing is that he's not in the center. These guys, they have money, but they want to feel the power. You know, they want to be the one making decisions. They want to be in the center. They want politics to revolve around them, because one of the things about Nigerian politics is that if you don't declare your how important you are, you can be forgotten. I know of some very intelligent dudes who were once leaders in this country, but right now they are nowhere to be found. So I feel that was an opportunity for him to shed light on his position as it has to do with Bola Tinubu's government, just to awaken his consciousness that he's still around.
All right, that's